Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've done a monthly wrap up and then a reads for the next month because the summer was just crazy and I was so busy and I wasn't reading really enough to be doing these videos, and I didn't know what was going to happen the next month, so I didn't have anything planned as far as reading, but I now have more time, so I'm going to be doing that. So today I am doing a August wrap up and September reads, and I was going through my Goodreads and I actually had 7 books in August, which is pretty good considering everything. And for September I'm back at school, and I still don't really know what my schedule looks like yet. Like, I know what it looks like, but I haven't gone through it enough to know how much free time I exactly have to read. So my reads part of this, my September reads part of this will be kind of weird. Anyway, there's going to be 2 parts to this video. Part here, I'm at my house for the weekend since it was Labor Day. So the first book I read in August was After the Snow by S.D. Crockett. And this book it's somewhere between post-apocalyptic and dystopian. I really don't know how to classify it. It's this boy Willow, and this is like in England, I think, or the UK, and it takes place after, basically, there was a new ice age, and everything's changed, and he lives in the country with his family, and then one day, like, his whole family disappears, and he doesn't really know what to do next. He's trying to find them, and then he finds this girl, and it changes what he decides to do with his life, and he doesn't really know what to do next. He's never been into this city before, only ever lived in the country, and he just has to deal with everything that's changing, and he finds out more about his family and why they disappeared and what happened to them. And it's a pretty short book and it's really good. I read it in like 3 days, I think. The one problem I had with it is that the grammar of the kid is purposefully bad. Like, it's really weird, and it's for the character and everything, but it confused me, and it made it, like, when I first started reading it, before I got into it, I had to read some paragraphs a few times before I understood what he was trying to say. This one was good though. I rated it 3 to 5 stars. The ending, I really loved the ending of this book. It was awesome. I just highly enjoyed it. The next book I read was a reread, in The City of Ashes, and this is part of the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. I'm slowly working my way rereading the Mortal Instruments series so I can read City of Heavenly Fire. And this book, I hated this book the first time I read it. I loathed it. I thought it was so bad and it was so stupid, and I didn't like it because of the whole Clary and Jace relationship. But I think going and reading it the second time, knowing what I know now, I learned to appreciate it more, and I gave it a higher rating on Goodreads because of it. I can't really talk about it because of the sequel, but it just continues to follow Clary as she tries to wake her mom and everything and deal with Valentine, and yeah. And I gave City of Ashes 4 stars this time around. The next book I read was The Knife of Never Letting Go, which I've been like wanting to read for so long, and I finally got around to reading it, and this book was so good. The first day I read it, I read like over 100 pages on it. It just picks up so fast, and then it just goes, and it doesn't stop. It's so good, and I really enjoyed this book. It's so good, and I love the characters in it. I love Todd and I love Yola, and there's a lot of survival in this book, and looking back at it, I'm like, how did all that happen in those many pages? Like, I feel like it could have been less, but it didn't feel, as I was going through, it didn't feel like, oh, this is so boring, this is taking forever. It just felt so fast-paced and good. And I gave this one 4 to 5 stars. The next book I read was The Giver, which I have at school, so once I'm at school, I'll film a little clip and insert it here. So I also read The Giver, which I have the quartet, which is massive, and I loved this book. The only problem I had with it was the ending, and that was kind of weird, and I felt like it was anticlimactic, but other than that, it was so good. I devoured it in a day. I loved it. Oh, it was so good. I don't understand why people hate it when they had to read it in school. But anyway, I have another video all about this on my channel if you want to watch it, and I talk about the trailer and all of that good stuff, so you can go watch it if you want to know more. After I read The Giver, I started The Ask and the Answer, and the reason I read The Giver is I kind of needed to take a break from the series for a little bit, and then I went back and I started The Ask and the Answer, and I was like 50 pages in, and I needed to take a break from it. I don't know why. I needed to take a lot of breaks from this book. But then I picked up Winger, by Andrew Smith. And if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been wanting to read this book for a while, and oh, it's so good. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I'm just gonna start out with that. It was so good. It was so funny. I have a review of it filmed, and you can watch that on my channel, but oh, this book is so good. It's a contemporary book, and it's so funny, but it also made me cry, and it's just so good. Yeah, it's about this kid who goes to a boarding school, and he's 14, but he's a junior, and he plays rugby, and it's just like all of his shenanigans and him dealing with these changes in his life, and you just need to read this book. Just leaving it at that, because it is so good. So after I read Winger, I picked up the Ask and the Answer again, and I finished it. And it was so good. I don't even know why I put it down the first time, because it was amazing. And I want to talk about this book so bad, but there's so many spoilers in it if I talk about it right now. So after I finish this series, I'm going to do a video reviewing the trilogy, the Chaos Walking trilogy, but this book was so good. The character development was amazing, and the characters in the, like, it's not just character development for Todd and Viola, it's character development for everybody, and it's so good. It's so good. So I'm home this weekend, and I started Monsters and Men, but I really wanted to finish the book this weekend while I was home, so I picked up 4 from the Divergent collection. I didn't peel the sticker off of it yet, so it's there. But this book is super short. It's like 285 pages, and I just wanted to finish a book this weekend, so I read this one, and it was really cool. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really like 4, and this definitely gave me a new perspective on him, especially seeing him right when he's joined Dauntless, and seeing him going through initiation and everything like that. It was really cool, and it was cool to see his, like, what was going on with him for certain scenes that happened in Divergent, because I remember reading those parts in Divergent and being like, who's this kid? And yeah, but now I understand him, and I understand what's going on, and that was really cool. My August wrap up, I read 7 books, and they were all very good. Now I'm going to cut to my other part of footage that I took at school talking about my September reads, so here we go. Welcome to the dorm room September reads side of the video. Ooh. So September, I can't believe it's September already. It feels like it was like March 2 days ago. Anyway, so for September, I don't have a lot of planned. I just gonna try to wing it. One thing I'm going to try to do for September is finish series that I haven't finished yet, or at least progress in the series. You'll see what I mean when I get into the books. So we're just gonna get on stuff. First book I'm gonna read in September is Monsters and Men by Patrick Ness, which is the 3rd and final book in the Chaos Walking trilogy. I read the other 2. I'm on page 56 in it, and it's like 600 pages. It's so big, but I'm so excited to finish the series. I just have no idea how it's gonna end. This is a nice series because it's not super popular, so not a lot of people are talking about it, and therefore it can't get ruined for me like other books have. Divergent. So yeah, I'm really excited to finish this one. After I read that, I'm going to read World After by Susan E., and this is the 2nd book in the Penryn and Days of the End of the World series. Penryn and the End of Days. That's what the series is called. It's inside the cover. I read Angel Fall, which was the first one, and it was so good, and the ending, I was just like, what's gonna happen next? And I read that book in like 2 days or something. It wasn't a day, it was 2 days. And it was so good. The next book I read is The Kill Order by Jim Stashner, and this is the prequel of the Maze Runner series, and I really loved the other 3 books in the Maze Runner series. They were very good, good length, and I'm excited to go into The Kill Order because I haven't looked at a lot of stuff about it, so I don't know what to expect, and I like going into a book without expecting much. It makes the book better for me. I was going to try to read Sinner by Meg Stepfader, which is I think it's Stepfader, which is a companion novel to the Shiver series. And this is, if you read it, it's about Cole St. Clair and his stuff. I don't know what that's. I just know it's Cole St. Clair in it, and I love Cole, so this is gonna be good. Love that cover. Apparently there's like a special edition cover of it with doodles and stuff. I'll put a picture up here somewhere, but it's so pretty and I want it. It's beautiful. I don't know if I'll be feeling it because I've been reading so many big books lately, but if I'm feeling it, I'll read Fire and Bitter Blue, and these are both part of the Graceling realm, and I read Graceling a few months ago and I loved it. It was so good. And one thing is that this is like a prequel companion thing, and this is the sequel, but it doesn't have the same characters in it. So these are different books to me. I've never read books that are quite like this. Like, instead of it being about the same characters, it's about different characters and different storylines, but it's in the same world, and I don't know. It's weird because I really love the characters in Graceling, so I mean, I think I'm gonna have issues with that and I'm gonna miss them. But if I'm feeling reading big, giant fantasy books, then I will read these. If I choose to not read Fire and Bitter Blue, I'm going to read the Enclave, whatever trilogy, or it's like Razor Land trilogy. I think it's like the proper name for them. But anyway, there's Enclave. I really need to look that up. Outpost and Horde. And I've not been in a mood to start series, so I've been kind of avoiding these. Like, I'm just like, just want to read standalones, stuff like that. But, or finish series I'm working on, but I think I'm gonna try to read these if nothing else is working for me. So that is it for my September reads. If you've read any of these books, let me know how you liked them and all of that good stuff. If you've noticed, I've rearranged this area a little bit since my room tour, so now Katniss is up there. Can't really see her head, but that's okay. And then I have my little trinkets and stuff, and then my books, which if you've watched my room tour, you notice how these have changed since then. Well, some of them are the same, but I've added some and taken away a few, just because every time I'm going to go home, this is going to be a regular thing. When I go home, I'll take some home that I've read and bring new ones so I can read more. And so just watch out for that. It's like a little hidden treasure in my videos, I guess. So that is it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye. Side note, I got a new camera and it has a little flippy screen, so I can actually see myself in it, and it's causing a distraction, and it's a problem because I keep looking at myself in it. So I'm trying to not look at myself, but if it's a distraction, I'm sorry. I'm also working on City of Glass. I have it on my phone on the Kindle app, and I just read that between classes when I'm out and I don't have any other books with me. I read it. So that's a really slow process because it's only a few pages at a time. So that probably won't be done for a while, but I'm working on it. You know that.